Should your first designer bag be the Lady Dior bag, or should you explore your options and see other versions that are way more affordable and may save you a lot more money? Well, let's hop over to the Dior website and see how the latest price increases have affected our buying habits. Okay, so when we pop on to the website, let's just have a look. First of all, I want to just see how much the medium size Lady Dior has gone up in price. So as some of you may know, the medium Lady Dior was the first Lady Dior that I purchased, and that's what really made me fall in love with the brand. So when we go on the website, the medium Dior is now retailing for £5,300. It used to be £5,000. So it's had a £300 increase. That is pretty standard for a lot of luxury houses. But how about if we look at the small? Now, the small Lady Dior is one of the most popular sizes from the Lady Dior range, as a lot of people do find it the most versatile, not being too bulky on the body, but also big enough to fit in a lot more than just the essentials. So the small Lady Dior price was 4,400 and it is now £5,000. So this is a £600 increase. And this is quite a significant jump if we're comparing it to the medium-sized Lady Dior, which is a larger bag and may not be as popular, but it is the classic of the Lady Dior bags. When we look at the mini Lady Dior, that is also a really popular size. A lot of people globally love the mini, as Lady Dior's are associated with an evening, more formal setting bag. So the mini bag is also a really popular size, and people are still infatuated with the mini styles. So the mini Lady Dior was 4,100 and it has only gone up £100. So this is a very standard increase. So £100 for such a popular bag is not as much as I was expecting. All right, so the micro bag, let's see about that one. So the teeny tiny micro bag, which I do not own in my collection, I have thought about it, but I do think that it is just too teeny for me. That used to be £2,600 and now it is £3,050. So that is another one that has gone up quite substantially. Obviously, it is in reach to a lot of people to buy, so it has grown in popularity and mini bags are very acceptable still. So obviously they did see this and they jacked it up quite a lot. Now, for the size of the bag, I do think this is quite steep for a price increase. Now, how about if we look at the alternative Lady Diors? So the Lady Diors that are in resemblance of the Lady Dior bag, but they're not quite the same thing. We have the D-Light bag, which is the fabric version of the Lady Dior, and this was previously £3,700. And when we look at the website now, it has gone up to £4,000. So this is quite a lot for a fabric bag, in my opinion. It is not wicker, it is just fabric, so all machine done. And it's similar to what I would say you could compare it to the book totes, which is still in the 2000 range, because it's all fabric. It just has the charms on there, which are a bit of metal. This is quite a big jump as well. Just pushing it into the 4,000 for a fabric bag for me feels like quite a steep increase. Okay, so we've gone and glazed over the actual increases. We're going to get into it a little bit later about how this is affecting our buying habits and whether or not it's still a worthy purchase. However, what I wanted to do before then is talk about some of the bags that were not affected with the price increase. So bags that have remained either the same price or they have been discontinued. The Lady Dior's not affected by the price increase are Diamond Motif Lady Dior, which I think was released either in 2021 or it could have been 2022. And this is the one that is all full leather. Sometimes it's a monochromatic color, and they have diamond motifs instead of the quilted. It still remains at 4,300 for the medium size one. Also, the medium wicker Lady Dior is still 4,700 pounds. And I believe this was still the same before the price increases. So it's interesting that the D-Light did jump up in price because that was in the 3,000 range, but the motif has nowhere near gone as high as the other Lady Dior's, and the wicker bag is also the same as well. So good to know if you were sort of deciding then and there to get one, you do have some options if you were still kind of looking within that price range. Okay, so we got the price increases out of the way. Now let's talk about what makes the Lady Dior so special. And hang on till the end of this video because I do have a Lady Dior unboxing to share with all of you. So the Lady Dior has its status right now because it is known and recognized. If you're young and stylish, or if you're a bit more mature, you will know the Lady Dior bag as a fashion designer brand bag. It is known for its femininity and its elegance, for its dress sense, for those formal occasions. The color options for the Lady Dior bag change seasonally, so there's always a different style coming out, but they also have their classic colors, which a lot of people gravitate to. But because there are so many different sizing options, it's also a bag that people can explore and find one that suits them. It's also a type of bag that is never out of style, as it is a part of a fashion brand that was created in 1946 by a French designer who was designing couture dresses for women, and this name goes back history. So being a part of that house and that brand has a lot of prestige for a lot of people. Also, we know the late Princess Diana Spencer carried this bag, and she was a fashion icon in herself. So having something associated with heritage and a princess that was well loved around the world is something that a lot of people do hold dearly to their hearts. Yes, there are other options of the Lady Dior bag. We have the Dior bag, which is like half the bag, and I guess you could almost say half the price. They also went through a price increase. I didn't mention this earlier as I like to keep them kind of separate. So when we talk price increases, they do inspire you to sort of get something out of reach. And a good feeling of luxury is something that is special that you cannot always achieve, and it comes once every so often. Luxury is something that designer brands have always tried to make it feel exclusive, but also slightly out of reach for most people. Buying luxury also feels really special because we are rewarding ourselves and giving us something that we feel we deserve. Most people who do aspire to get something from a big luxury brand might start by dipping their toes in first. I definitely did this when I was starting out. I would explore with different things like buying sunglasses from the brand, or if you're getting into Dior, you might look at their tribal earrings or even their mitza. Buying a mitza from the brand and sort of keeping it there in aspiring to get your Lady Dior that will suit your mitza is also a really special way to sort of feel like you've become a part of this brand, but also you're working towards your dream bag. I think it's really special when people get a mitza and just have it sort of sitting there that they can admire part of the packaging as well. And then when they finally get that Lady Dior bag, that day feels so special. So, is a large price increase a good thing or is it a bad thing? Well, that really depends on who you ask. Ever since I started collecting Lady Dior's and really getting into the brand, I definitely did have a look at some of the other brands that were available, like Chanel, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and I sort of put Dior at a level that was quite high up. Their range of bags were quite expensive, but the bags at Dior were not as high as that of Chanel or Hermes, and they've always kind of been like in that 3,000, 2,000 range when I first started looking. So I always thought that Lady Dior bags were a pretty good value for money. And also when I traveled to Europe, I did find it even more of a saving when I was buying bags, as I had a stronger currency in my country and I would always get a saving there as well. When I first got my Lady Dior bag in the medium size, it was £3,800. And I did buy this one in Greece. So I did get savings there. I do have a video listing there. You can see the unboxing and me talking about the bag. That was my first unboxing of a Lady Dior bag. But yeah, as I said, looking at Chanel classic flat bags in medium, they were around the 4,600 mark. So Dior was a little bit more achievable and it did sound more appealing to me, as I thought the bag's design was also very intriguing to me. In a way, Dior has had very slight price increases over the last few years that I've been collecting them. They've only gone up in increments of about £200 or £300, and I've just kind of accepted it as a natural inflation. I first noticed quite a large increase for the small Lady Dior when I was looking to buy that one as my third Lady Dior bag. So it was 4,000 and I had this in my head and I knew that 4,000 was the next mark that I was going to pay for a Lady Dior bag. And then they had a price increase of 4,400, and that 400 mark I did think was quite significant, and because it was becoming more and more popular to buy the small Lady Dior bag, I was thinking, okay, this is quite a significant increase. £400, I was more happy to pay for the bag for about 4,000, knowing that the bag was quite small and I did kind of pay less for the medium size. So now that it's gone up to 600, it is an even bigger shock for a lot of people. I am not too surprised that it has gone up of a percentage that is a little bit higher of £200. However, having it at that 5,000 mark does make you kind of squirm a little bit about having to part ways with that much money for a bag. However, it will continue to happen, and if you love the brand, then you will continue to support the brand that you love. If you already have a Lady Dior classic and you are wanting to expand your collection and get another size or another color of the same sort of bag, then this might put you off buying another one because the increases, or it may just mean that you need a little bit more time to digest, and then later on you will get the bags that you want in your collection. It's never really a nice thing to hear about a price increase, but it's bound to happen, and it'll really be a deciding point if you want to continue your journey with the brand or just call your collection as it is and leave it at that. When I bought the medium Lady Dior for 3,800, obviously I did think this was quite a lot for the bag, but I wasn't looking at that price and thinking, in 1995 when this bag came out, it was probably sold for less than £1,000. So it really is perception, your history with the brand, as a lot of people coming in fresh and they've never bought anything from Dior before might look at it as expensive, but definitely achievable and an exciting journey to begin. Okay, well, is it still worth it then? Like, what do we do now that these price increases are here? Well, I think if it's a first designer bag for you, then it's a good budget to have something looking at around 1,500 to about 3,000. 3,000 being on the higher end for a first designer bag in your collection. Obviously, this is quite spendy, but it's also something that I think you can work towards and is acceptable first bag purchase. Some people may disagree with me and think this is way too much. However, when we're talking about global international designers, a lot of the prices are kind of up there. And if you want to have something that is just high quality, then obviously alternative options that are not designer will be best for you. So 1,500 to about 3,000 would be a good option for an everyday designer bag that has that logo or has something about it that you know that you can recognize with the brand, and is something that also is a little bit more practical that can really get your love out of. If you're buying something that's not too practical, you could find yourself not using it at all. Or if you spend a little bit over 3,000, maybe you're buying your Lady Dior for 5,000 and that's your first designer bag, you might find that you'll be a little bit precious with it, not want to touch it, not want to take it out, and this can become a bit of a buyer's remorse, as you might think that, why have I spent all this money on a bag that I'm not using? It's my only nice bag. It is nice to work your way into luxury, and then when you do have bags that cost a lot more, you're more accustomed to what can happen, you're not so afraid to use it, and you can get your actual money's worth. Nothing is necessary. You really have to buy something that you know that you're going to enjoy and really bring you excitement. That is how I started my journey with Lady Dior's, and I don't regret any bit of it at all. It is not always the best way to invest your bags, but what I find that now with these price increases going quite high is the pre-loved market is also going to follow along as well, just as they did with Chanel. And we'll find that Lady Dior's won't be as bad in resale value as they used to be, because people will know that the margins are just so high now. So the bags are not going to be as affordable on the pre-loved market. So speaking of the pre-loved market, I wanted to share with you an unboxing that I got from a consignment store in London. And this is a new consignment store that I have never shopped with before. And I just randomly came, as it was 2 months ago when I did buy this bag. I'm not sure whether or not I was specifically searching for this colorway or if it just came across. I can't quite remember. Anyway, I was searching for a pre-loved bag on the internet. I do this quite often, and I came across this consignment store. So I had a look on the website. They're located in Marylebone in London. I saw that they had a Lady Dior on there that was in new condition. As I was so intrigued, I did see where the store was. It's right in centre London, so I decided to pop in and have a look at the bag myself in person. So I went into the store and it was super small, cute and friendly, much like all the other consignment stores that you see around London. Sure enough, when I walked in there, the bag was sitting on the shelf looking prim and proper. Now, as I've said before, I've got quite a few Lady Dior's and I know what to look for when I'm looking for pre-loved bags. I do shop from Vestiaire Collective that do have their own verification on whether or not the bag's authenticity is correct. When I look at a bag in person, I kind of know what to feel for and whether or not little things like the hardware are matching up. So as soon as I saw the bag, I got very excited because I saw, yes, it is authentic. I decided to sort of sit on it and I waited for, I think, the weekend. And then when I had my working day, I did go back to the store to pick up the bag. And here's a few other things that they had in store at the time. It's got some shoes. Oh, those are nice. Oh, there's some Hermes. Don't know if you've seen these ones, they're really popular at the moment. Ooh. Thank you. Okay, so it came with a dust bag and it was just put into a box, but I have not opened this yet. So let's have a look. In here we have the beautiful blue gradient Lady Dior in the small size. If you guys saw my bags that got away video, you would see that this bag was one of the bags that I tried to get pre-loved many times in 2022 when this bag was released, and it was popping up on the pre-loved market quite a lot, but I think I wasn't as experienced with negotiating and I never seemed to get a hold of this bag. So when I saw it at Luxe Collective, I got very excited and I saw it in person and I just knew that yes, it's in the perfect condition for me, and I've lusted over this bag for so long. I think when I first recognized that this bag's beauty was just right for me was when I tried it in Selfridges. Here is a picture here of me trying it on in winter time, and I just thought it was really cool and, you know, workable with jeans and a more casual Lady Dior look. because it has the blue gradient, it is darker on the bottom and then it goes lighter on the top, and it also does the same but in reverse on the handle. And then you can see that the stitching is also all one color, but because the stitching matches the bottom of the bag, it looks darker as it gets to the top. And I think this is so cool. It looks really amazing. The back is also the same. And yeah, the hardware has like no scratches on it. It is in immaculate condition, which I absolutely love. And then when we open up the bag, you can see inside it has the suede interior. So this is like, it almost looks purple, the suede on the inside. So this is a bit different to your traditional small Lady Diors, as they would generally have the canage cotton on the inside there as well. So I'm going to pop her over here. And then it also came with this strap. And you can see this strap has a darker section in the middle and then it's lighter on the edges. And this is the ABC strap, meaning that we have 3 badges here as well. Now, because this is the pre-loved bag, these are initials from somebody else. So I have no idea who this was owning to before, but someone with an L and an R. It could be Lauren Recker. And then there's a love heart in the middle, which I really do love. So it's kind of one of those things. If you buy a pre-loved Lady Dior and it is the ABC version, what do you do with the charms? Do you keep them and just have it as like a little blingy accessory, or do you kind of take it off because it's kind of weird? Interesting. I know that some people on pre-loved websites don't include the charms in the sale because it's more sentimental for them. So if they got the bag for their birthday or it's their children's initials, sometimes they'll keep them and say the charms are not included on the bag. They are included when you buy the bag. I don't know why you wouldn't include them and why you need to keep them, but some people might find it quite sentimental to just hold on to. So here is the strap. I think I might use this strap a little bit more with this bag. I don't use it for my other ones because I always tend to be wearing them with dresses, and I find that dresses I prefer to hold a top handle. But if I was wearing this bag with some jeans, then I think that it would look really cool to sort of have the strap on. So this is how we're looking with the bag crossbody. You can see I've got some denim Levi jeans on. So, you know, they are very bright blue. And this is kind of like an indigo blue color. I'm pretty sure it is the indigo blue one. So it does look really cool and just so casual to wear it this way. I find that I would definitely wear this one with the strap. Now, the best thing about this bag was the price that it was going for at the time. So Luxe Collective didn't have any other Lady Dior's available on their website. They had sold one previously, I think either a few months ago, but obviously the Lady Dior's are not the hugest bags to be sought after in consignment stores. And usually when you look at consignment stores in London, they have really old, ratted, tattered Lady Dior's that nobody really wants, and they sell them for, you know, 2,000, ridiculous prices, and they're always the old versions. But this is a new version of the Lady Dior. 2022 is still very current and recent, and this bag was still very sought after a few years ago. So I picked up this bag for 2,750. I know, ridiculous now. We're hearing about these price increases. And this at the time seemed almost too good to be true. It was at a time when other brands were sort of letting their bags go for that price as well. But it's amazing what changes in about 2 months' time when I got this bag, because I feel like if it was relisted on a lot of the popular consignment stores that are quite well known, then this would probably be around the 3,500 mark at least. When you shop at Vestiaire Collective, sometimes people will let go of their bags for around the 3,000 mark, but it's hard to get a brand new bag like this for the same price. So I consider myself really fortunate, and I have, trust me, been looking at the website and a lot of other websites since then to see if any other goodies will come up, and they really haven't. So I do consider myself quite lucky and good timing. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know below how you feel about these recent price increases. Are they better for the value of the Lady Dior bag, or is it just harder and harder to reach that it's not even worth it? Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you in the next video.